heading back into our draft right here, we can see the bands Suicune, Latios, Lucario, and Hoopa.
Very interesting here, and we haven't gotten signed that this is a remake, so this is what we are locking in. Z-Ray, who is kind of a ranged specialist for this squad, is locking in Ho-Oh quickly, which means the counter to Ho-Oh needs to exist, and it's immediately a Mewtwo to Buzzwole back-to-back.
Mewtwo, Buzzwole. I think Buzzwole is just never bad, right? An incredible top lane Pokemon, and at the same time, it's hard to counter it with anything, right? It's just going to be very, very good in that top path. On the other side, filling out their support core, we've got the Defender in Snorlax and Blaziken. The incredible thing is, so many power picks right now. Charizard right on the other side. I was wondering, do we see Ho-Oh? Do we see Char? Game one.
Out the gate. And we're getting some sub information here too. When you see the Lucario ban, the Hoopa ban, there's something going on here, and that pays to the research that these teams have done going into this. And this is a Pokemon that's been very popular in the East, Zarina.
Yeah, no, this is interesting, right? Because they're running two all-rounders. Zarina has a little better dive than something like Blaziken, but both of them are looking to brawl. And then they're playing this Espeon pick right here. Over to the other side, Insomnia, you're seeing Duck go almost for free in that final pick.
Yeah, again, going to be carrying the light bulb, going to be disruptive. And it goes to the point. Obviously, its priority went way down. But the point I was making is it still checks the boxes of what Psyduck was doing before. It's just a little less strong. So if you can bridge the gap with something like a big Charizard pick, well, then all of a sudden, Psyduck looks pretty darn good.
You're taking a look here at the side of Insomnia. Buzzwole, Charizard, and Blissey all looking to stack. If you take a look at Hi5 right here, Ho-Oh, Zarina, Blaziken, all looking to stack. So there's going to be a lot of aggressive plays towards those goal zones early so they can stack these Pokemon up. All of them extremely powerful with that extra damage. I want to talk just for a second about Char, because we didn't get to talk about it too much. Recently received what feels like a mega buff to this thing. Its pick rate throughout the season, 2%. But I could see this thing doing very well all weekend and either being a pick or ban.
Can I piggyback off that? Pick rate, 2%, pick rate, 5%, pick rate, 8%, pick rate, 15%, pick rate, 24%. We are in a different world than where we've been all season long.
It's incredible to see, right? You love a nice meta shift like this, and it's given the teams a lot of time to prepare for it. As we head into our first game here at our World Championships, Hi5, your purple team, Insomnia, your orange team, APAC East versus Japan. These two regions went at it at ACL, Insomnia being the victor, and now we're heading into game one.
Look at that quick three-player rotation to the top. They're putting all this pressure on the Torchic here. The Kerr is getting low, goes back to get a berry with the eject button, and now they're putting some decent pressure on for a 3v2.
Yeah, I mean, look at that right there. We talked about how aggressive they were going to be towards that goal zone, looking for those stacks early, and they absolutely were.
Nice pressure by Ice here. They're getting the stacks, as you mentioned. A few players looking to stack there, carrying the light bulb as well, as Ice is looking to pivot to the middle, put pressure on the Charmander, who's still sitting at level 4. But there you have Obi-Wan on the Mewtwo, ready to go.
And look at this Ho-Oh just trying to steal this away, and they do. Able to take that away. Charmander, still a Charmander here, not yet Charmeleon here for this fight, as Zarina is online at level 6.
Zarina's online, and Z-Ray got to evolve as well, so the Espeon pressure is there, and the Ho-Oh still has not gone down. We have a big rotation by Akura, going to put the pressure on, decent reposition, but that Psyduck is gone, and now this goal zone's getting tons of points in, and Hi5 is starting to gain some steam.
Yeah, not only they're starting to gain some steam, I mean, they are winning these fights. They shut down that Charmander. However, in the top path, Insomnia putting in the work, continuing to stack with both of these Pokemon, get them online. Mewtwo going down in a flash.
All of a sudden, Insomnia takes a look. We've got a Charmeleon finally, but that needs to get evolved up. Look at Ice living in the central area for free. They haven't gotten knocked out yet, putting tons of pressure on Soon here, who's really quickly going to get a berry. And finally, the collapse is on, and they need to get this knockout on Ice. They do.
They finally do, but you've got to remember, that's their EXP share defender right there. It's not worth, you know, Xing Di, the level 7 Zarina or something like that. All that pressure that was put on, incredible plays there from Hi5. It feels like fight-wise they're in control of this, but Insomnia very calmly continuing to level in this top path in a lot of trouble right here as Buzzwole goes down. The Espeon's going to push forward. Snorlax now with a huge heavy slam. Ho-Oh, we've got 4 towards the goal.
I mean, it's nothing but pressure here from Hi5, right? I think the only thing they wish was going a little bit better is that they got the Blaziken online a hair earlier. But outside of that, they are moving across this map. Well, look at Ice again on your mini-map here, living in that central area, slowing things down. Finally, Insomnia commits to a 5-player push-by.
And here we go. Insomnia moving towards this goal zone. Buzzwole looking to help the Mewtwo score, and they're going towards Snorlax. Snorlax peeling back.
Now, I mean, they were able to just keep it down to 1 score. We do have our Reggie hitting the map right now. Z-Ray and Akura on the scene, but here comes the rest of Hi5. Regiseal's getting ripped, quickly secured by the Snorlax. Akura, the hero, steps up, and now that's 2 players, 3 players down for Insomnia. Watching this slip through their fingers early, his Hi5's going to rack up the score.
I mean, beautiful overcap right here. We have the 30 in that bottom goal zone. You know, I think a lot of people were saying that Hi5 was probably favored right here, and they are dominating Insomnia at the start of game number 1. Look at all of the experience and wild Pokemon they are taking away from Insomnia. They're winning every fight, and what a lucky steal on that bottom objective.
I mean, that's what starts, right? But once you're given the opportunity, or once you have a play like that go your way, the fact that Hi5 was immediately, okay, shift into 5th, pedal to the metal, we can take a bunch of knockouts here, and they really did send Insomnia reeling. Insomnia going to get like a conciliatory Regieleki here that they're going to send down in the top path.
Yeah, they're going to send that up towards that tier 2 goal zone, but it doesn't look like they're going to end up fighting near it. They have Charizard kind of looking to see if anything is an option. 5 members of Insomnia right now actually moving through the center right here. They could be moving up for a fight right now. They're all hiding in the tall grass.
Yeah, oh, I sees it though. I saw Usakazu go in the big time engage, but it's a 5v1. They get a knockout quickly. Buzzwole Unite is used, but look at this quick rotation. They wanted to get 1 catch and use and build off of that. They're going to get another one here. Nice Espeon Unite slows stuff down, but Hi5 needs to react. We've got a lot of damage going on to Akura. They pick up 2 berries, and it's enough to keep Insomnia away.
Well, look at Insomnia right here. I mean, just traveling as a 5-person group throughout this map, seeing what fights they could pick up. Really great pivots there from Hi5, but it's tough to take down 5 players all trying to make the same thing happen. Obeon now having to peel away from this top path, just continuing to stack in that goal zone right now. The scoreline 169-117 heading into the halfway mark of this match.
Yeah, you already see 9-4 kind of giving up the position here, letting them know they were going for it. Mewtwo Y Unite comes out a hair early, but it sends all of Hi5 backwards. Insomnia now takes the positional advantage around Regice, and they're going to secure with the Mewtwo Y. The pressure's on. We got a big power nap in the middle of a lot of bodies. The Bliss Assistance is on the side duck, and the chase is on. Charizard is there to clean it up, and now they're on this goal zone. Akura goes down, and Insomnia's feeling it. Bang! The Ho-Oh resuscitation, and Akura's right back into the mix, but the Buzzwole's in the back line, put pressure on. 2 players down from Hi5. Insomnia keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. The block is back. It gets them out of dodge, and the 2 defenders are left reeling as Insomnia shows signs of life.
That's right, 169-212. Insomnia once again moving as a 5-man unit towards that goal zone, absolutely cooking them in that fight. We saw Charizard really come online there with that Unite move, and Hi5, who feels like they've been in control of this match, all of a sudden has lost 2 objectives in a row, lost a major fight. They're heading up towards this top path right here. Only 1 Unite move on the side of Hi5, 1 Unite move from Insomnia as well, but Insomnia in a better position with this tier 1 goal zone.
They do have the Espeon Unite, which is great for a catch here, because there's so many Unites down that they have a good opportunity to make something happen. Block Shield is gargantuan, by the way, now. Able to get back, and they just send their Regieleki pretty much so they don't have to contend with it. They've got work in other places on the map to do.
Yeah, and Insomnia allowed that to happen. They recognized this wasn't going to be a super important fight for them. All of the early pressure, all of that early Ho-Oh making their way towards this central area here doesn't seem like it has put Hi5 that far ahead in this match. They catch the Ho-Oh. Blissey caught a little bit right here. The Sacred Fire moving in. They're going to try to take Blissey early. They're going to see, yes, they finally do.
I was going to say, I feel like they're both like, come on, come on, come on.
Yes.
This is taking longer than it should. All right, nice rotation here. Xingdi kind of quiet this game. This arena has been working. It's a good level, but hasn't been kind of like the huge Xingdi takeover that we're used to seeing. we're going to need a good opportunity of Hi5 and good positioning to make that happen here in the late stages.
They do have a great setup right here for this objective. I don't know if Insomnia is actually going to contest this at 245. They're kind of moving it. Beautiful heavy slam right there. Charizard coming on the backside, though. We're going to see if we're going to start this fight.
Usakazu getting low. They go back over the wall. They don't give up their Unite move. They just say, I'll give up myself. Get back and we'll set up. 30 seconds till Ray, Spraggles, and this thing is tight.
Yeah, it's really, really close. Obviously, that buff for Hi5 could be a huge difference maker in this fight, right? You talk about Pokemon like Ho-Oh, Snorlax, incredibly difficult to take down. Now you're giving them some defense and special defense with Regirock as Insomnia making their way into the Ray pit, looking for how they are going to start this fight. If it's anything like that bottom Reggie from earlier, they're in a great position right here. Moving forward, catching with the flamethrower. They know they found someone in that bush because of the move speed that Charizard got right there. The question is, who's going to start this fight? Hi5 is behind in this moment.
Oh,
Snorlax
nice heavy
over
slam
the wall.
engage. And Kura pins against the wall. Forces Usakazu and they're split. Mewtwo United is out. Blissicins is there. Power Napper in the middle. Shingdi is on top. Usakazu, they're going for the knockout. We're rotating back through. Mewtwo is mega, and it is throwing all those psychic balls right in the face of Hi5. Great resuscitation is going to bring back the Espeon, and they got the pressure on, but nobody's falling for Insomnia. Shingdi finally seeing a bunch of targets. Usakazu cleans it up in the back, but there's Z-Ray to get one back the other direction. Buzzwole is down, but the signs of life of Hi5 are dwindling here in game one of our first match at the World Championships, and it looks like Insomnia is looking to pivot on top of Ray.
Now here we go. This is actually tough for Insomnia to secure compared to what they have on the side of Hi5. Espeon is a better secure in this moment, so the question is, will they pivot away from Ray? They do. They peel away from Ray. They're looking for the members of Hi5 that are coming back into this fight. Here comes the Ho-Oh with the Sacred Fire, and they're re-engaging.
Charizard on top of Z-Ray. Z-Ray runs back behind their team. Shingdi goes for the engage. They need to get a knockout here. How's the Charizard still standing? Finally dealt with. Shingdi looking on Usakazu. They're on top of him with Ho-Oh. Sacred Fire is just burning them down. Ho-Oh taking the skies, showing them that they're the legendary here. Soon goes down. They're so low. Can the Blaziken 9-4 close the deal? No way they get out of there. But now they have the rip is on because they've got the best secure between the Zarina and the Blaziken. They're looking for it. Good heavy slam on the backside to split Obi-Wan from the rest of the team. Rayquaza is low. Overheat is charged up. It's too early. Secured by Zarina, and Hi5 sees the light at the end of the tunnel.
You had this moment from Insomnia where they won this massive fight, but they just didn't have the secure to be able to take Ray. Of course, now hindsight being 2020, Dubesnacks, it really does feel like that was their moment. They had to take it, but they were already up in this fight. They decided to play it safe. Hi5 moves back in for a massive fight and takes it away from Insomnia. Without the Unite moves, without the positioning they had before, Insomnia just could not deal with the pressure from Hi5. You're now switching sides. Insomnia is going to get that first pick. The band's coming in. We see the Hoopa, see the Blastoise. Lucario once again. It looks like they know something very specific about Insomnia. Suicune being hovered, but no, they settle on Galarian Rapidash.
Yeah, we've got a lot of powerhouse Pokemon that can come into this. Obviously the Ho-Oh, the Suicune, feels like, just like Ho-Oh, if you are letting this thing through, you have a plan somewhere. And if you don't, what are you doing? Latios is the other one.
Latios is the first pick right here. So this is another Pokemon that I did not know if it was going to make it through a lot of drafts. You know, in your solo queue games, this thing can get online and become incredibly overpowered. In a game like this, when you have a team around you to support you, getting this online, getting all of your Aeon power so that you can do this absurd damage, this is going to be tough for Hi5, and I'm really curious to see how these two top-level teams work with and against this Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're giving up Latios with the expectation to be able to take Suicune Ho-Oh. We saw those locked in almost immediately. Quickly, Leafeon is selected as well. So is Zarina. And on the side, I mentioned Mamoswine a little bit earlier in our when we were getting going here. What a great isolating Pokemon. It takes one Earthquake and a good Ice Fang to just dismantle, honestly, 3 of the 4 Pokemon that Hi5 has picked so far.
We see S-Slime locking in the 3-headed bird right there. I think this is a really strong pick. It does pretty well actually into something like Suicune as long as you don't get caught in that first volley, right? You're able to kind of move around, dive in. It's one of the best dive Pokemon in the entire game as our teams are getting ready here for this next match. I didn't see the final pick there, I don't think, on the side of Hi5.
I didn't see the last pick either. because we had seen the Leafeon and Zarina, and we cut away. There we go. Mewtwo-Y.
Mewtwo-Y with that final pick as they're moving things around right here. Obviously, you can see the big stage. You see us up there in the giant monitors. This arena is amazing. It's so cool seeing our games. Or I should say, this center is amazing. The arena is Sunday.
Yes, the arena is Sunday, something we are both excited about. And don't forget, you've got awesome costumes. And that's what they are, honestly. They're honestly, they're not. They're not.
We are wearing.
They're not outfits. They're costumes. They're just costumes.
Yes. This is a big moment for Insomnia, right? I thought they looked really good in game number 1. They had some pretty amazing fights. They had a difficult time early, right? They had this really tough matchup into that Ho-Oh early, but they clawed their way back into this match in a big way.
Yeah, I mean, they did. The 5-player go into the central hide, pick down one target to get some of that experience, and then they just got away, right? They gave themselves the opportunity to kind of leech experience back to their side and bring some balance. After that, it was another good team fight on that T1 bot. And after that, it was like, oh, all of a sudden this game is even. All of a sudden, Insomnia is up on the scoreboard, and it kind of feels like they're grasping control of this game.
Yeah, and we're getting ready to head into our next game right here. Game number 2 here in Group G. Insomnia, your purple team. Hi5, your orange team, up 1 game right now over their rivals from ACL.
Ho-Oh sitting around taking a look. They've got a Swinub and a Buzzwole to contend with. Buzzwole in the bottom path, worth noting, as we've got the Doduo up top.
Yeah, nice secure there. Once again, Hi5 taking all of that. They were able to take the contested wild Pokemon there, and they were able to take the one on the side of Insomnia. Ho-Oh just incredibly powerful, difficult to deal with. The pressure put onto it, looking for a KO right there as we head to the top path to see S-Slime peel away from this fight.
Looks like they're going to get out of dodge here. Good for them, as they have pretty much been left alone, because the Chansey went on the escort mission with the Latios.
And look at Xingdi right here. I mean, they're sending Zarina through the center. They want to make sure that's online very quickly. We see the Latios here in the bottom path, ready to fight, and it's looking for a few things. It's looking to chip at their opponents with Dragon Pulse and also secure as much wild Pokemon as they can to charge up their Aeon power. Once they hit their 25 stacks, you will start to see those little balls of Aeon energy fly out towards their opponents to deal extra damage, and as that increases throughout the match, it will start to rip through the side of Hi5.
Luna just kind of getting squirrely a little bit, stepping forward, making sure their presence is known, as we have a big-time rotation by Usakazu and Sunsun going to go cover up top.
Yeah, Hi5 with the Leafeon up here, just able to secure a lot of this experience, being caught right there in so much trouble and goes down. You can see why Insomnia is prioritizing this Pokemon.
Absolutely. Hi5, on the other hand, you know, welcome to give up their Leafeon for all the points they're putting in the bottom path, as they do have a score lead, and the levels look about even.
Ooh, and here we go. We have a Drill Peck Dodrio here. Insomnia always making, you know, the exciting choices that you don't expect. I think you'd expect to see some Tri-Attack here, but we've got the Drill Peck. Xingdi moving forward, seeing if they can peel Sunsun back towards their side for the KO, but they couldn't make it happen.
Everybody is just taking inventory of where they are on the map. We know in 40 seconds we're going to be getting our first Reggies to hit the map. And of course, right before that is going to be these birds that they're going to be able to contest in the path.
Yeah, they're trying to get as much of this over to the side of Insomnia as they can, as Hi5 is pushing towards this goal zone here in the top path. Dodrio deciding when they want to move in, picking up.
Timed.
No, didn't get the KO. Dodrio goes down. Beautiful play there from Hi5.
Listen, you can say that they actually did leave with something, though. They got the Emerald 2-step out of the Leafeon, and they're not going to have it for this first Reggie. Now, can Insomnia take that very small victory in what looked like a loss and do something with it?
Yeah, Hi5 now moving towards this objective right here. We have Z-Ray coming down to start dealing some damage. Leafeon moving down for this fight. No Unite moves on the side of Insomnia. No Unite moves on the side of Hi5. Obviously, Leafeon's was just used.
Regice is at half, moving forward. Hi5 taking agency here, jumping on top of Luna, burning him down in the back is Ice. Tons of pressure with the Suicune there, and they get 2. And now they're looking for more, as the Regice is secured by Hi5, and that goal zone is their next priority.
Yeah, they're looking to see how they want to score here. We've got 29 points from the Leafeon, just letting Zarina continue to score, stack up, get more powerful, and have a better overcap. In the top path, Dodrio from Insomnia left to score in the top path, continue to stack, and make sure that those drill pecks will absolutely shred through their opponents.
Goal zone looks incredibly low in the top path. I didn't quite see how much remaining, but you could see that orange circle around it almost completely closed. Nice drill peck unite move combo. Kind of miss on 9-4, but the chase continues. S-Slime wants this one, and good coverage by the rest of Hi5 to make sure that Leafeon stays standing. And now they're in deep waters as S-Slime. The Mewtwo Y is showing up to A-press him down. Nice to reunite. We're going to see if we can get it done. We do. They are gone.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there from Hi5, right? Really punishing that Dodrio. Nice play from Dodrio, but they just could not fight as they move forward right here. Buzzwole Unite move, picking up the Suicune, but Buzzwole goes down the other way. We now have the Revival moving, and we're going to have to see Latios peel away from this fight as they are being chased away. The Flamethrower into a Blizz assistance. They're running. Sacred Fire hits them, but now we're going to reset for a moment right here. They're just too tanky after that Blizz assistance. But
huge engagement. Oh, and off the Suicune Unite. Just an absolute ice age. The scoreline finding the nut today because they are getting closed down and they're moving to the next one. They're going to keep putting these points in. Usakazu's the only one in the stratosphere of trying to stop this thing. The points are still raining in. All of Insomnia pushes forward, and it's finally enough to make Hi5 leave.
You have to give Hi5 so much credit in that moment. They take a huge fight, get a massive victory, look at the clock and see we're over 5 minutes. That means there are no jump pads on the side of Insomnia. They push towards that tier 2, and it just as you said, raining points in. 119, 254. Hi5 in control of this match. A lot like game number 1, but I'm not seeing as much fight from Insomnia. But it should be noted, Latios is probably the most scaling Pokemon we've ever had in this game. It gets better and better and better as the match goes on, but they're going to need it because they're way behind.
Yeah, and right now they're way behind, but so much so that they can't even show their face at any of these objectives right now. So Hi5 got another one for free as the Dodrio's in the backside, forcing out the Mewtwo Y Unite. We've got action on the side. Usakazu sorting out that Suicune there, and we're moving through. We'll see what we can catch here because the Dodrio's been dealt with. Usakazu taken to the skies, and they getting stepped through by the Zorino. Big moves by that Pokemon. Up, down, and finally, Buzzwole gets one back for the squad.
And look at this here. I mean, this Buzzwole from Insomnia is unbelievably good. They are a huge playmaker. It's Izakazu, right, on Buzz? They are just such a playmaker for Insomnia right now. And all the while, we have Luna getting online with this Latios. Caught in the Suicune Unite move. The Ice Fang right back the other way. They are looking to see if they can take down this Latios, but they are going to peel away. Buzzwole back in for a huge KO.
Getting poached there is brutal work. Hi5 sprung a trap. What they really want to do is keep any points from going in, which they were successful. They got a knockout to go along with it, but then they got a little too high on their own supply, and they started pushing a little too far forward and gave up a Ho-Oh knockout for no real reason.
Yeah, they gave up a knockout right there, and Insomnia really coming online. You see the Latios damage. You see the difference in some of these later engagements, right? As this thing is just really starting to rip through the side of Hi5. They need to get it very fast. On the side of Insomnia, you can see the priority they have on taking out this Suicune early.
Yeah.
They recognize they have to get this thing done. If they can, their Dodrio can really come online and make some big moments happen. And of course, they don't want anyone in their team stunned out, frozen during some of these big fights. 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. An objective in the bottom path right here, as well as this tier 1 goal zone that Insomnia would love to score on.
Oh, immediately poached is the Ho-Oh again and quickly dispatched. So that kind of takes all the wind out of Hi5 sails, right? It kind of looks like they're trying to set up a trap around it. Looks like they're still going to push towards the basement Reggie, though.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Hi5 deciding whether or not they want to go for it. 2:15 on the clock. They absolutely could take this if they want. They got to put a little pressure on it. It looks like they know that Insomnia isn't going to contest it right here. Instead, deciding to get better positioning around the Rayquaza pit. 5 seconds on the clock. You see S-Slime looking to find members of Hi5 on the other side. Right now, Insomnia in a different position than game number 1. They are behind and they're down 1 game. They need this, Dupe Snacks.
Oh, they're trying to poach Usakazu, and that's a huge get for Hi5. Rayquaza is kind of getting chunked, already at 75%. How are they going to leverage? Huge Suicune Unite move, and they're going to go for the engagement. Bliss Assistance is safe just in time to keep Luna standing for a hair longer. They have to two-step out. 9-4 gets it. 3 players down for Insomnia. The pressure's on the Mammothswine. Heist is on the chase. Rip is there. Dodrio Unite is too late. Hi5's going to secure off the back of Leafeon. And Hi5 is looking for every other member of the team as Usakazu's back. But I don't think there's enough in the tank for Insomnia.
Wow, I mean, Insomnia had such a great setup heading towards this final fight. And then Usakazu, the playmaker that we talked about in that Buzzwole, gets poached immediately, caught. Hi5 puts enough pressure on to take it down instantly, and from then on, it was just the dominoes falling. They kept picking up KO after KO after KO, chipping at Rayquaza. Beautiful Ray fight from Hi5, who has had 2 impressive Rayquaza fights against Insomnia now.
Yeah, you can really see what Hi5's trying to do in these games. Great engagements, right? Didn't really work out in the first game. They won on the refight. But that second one, they saw their opportunity. They took what they wanted, and they were able to cash in this time with a convincing win. Now we're trying to stack our scores up to make sure we can get our points in, as we've got a counter pitch going on for Insomnia.
Yeah, we're looking for it with 30 seconds left. Suicune looking for a massive freeze right here. Dodrio moving in with the drill peck, but no, the points continue to rain in. 341, 574. Leafeon Ho-Oh on the other side. It looks like there isn't going to be enough in the pockets of Insomnia to deal with those Hundo Burgers. 341, 774. Hi5 with a masterful Rayquaza fight, absolutely shutting down Insomnia, and it can just be down to one mistake like that, Dupstacks. When you see that Buzzwole go down, Hi5 engage, they put everything towards the side of Insomnia, and they won a huge fight.
I want to say, I mean, the story of Hi5 here to me is taking advantage of